your girl Tina Marie J. I got so much more energy right now, maybe because I'm having coffee, I don't know. I am adding this to my LGBT series, LGBT and religion series, and I actually decided to make a video about this homophobic program, a conversion therapy program. I don't know if you guys ever heard about that. It's a faith-based program where they try to convert anyone who is a part of the LGBT towards religion, like try to make you into a Christian. So one of my beautiful subscribers who is also a part of the LGBT, he actually posted on Facebook this article, and I was just like, oh crap, I'm gonna make a video about this because this is very interesting. I read the article fully and I was like, yes, I'm gonna make a video. So I'm not gonna read the whole article. I will post articles down below in the description box for anyone who does want to read it, but I'm just gonna kind of skim through it a little bit, and then, you know, we could just talk about it or whatever. So it says, conversion therapy founder comes out publicly as gay after 20 years of leading homophobic program. McCrae Game founded Hope for Wholeness, a faith-based conversion therapy program in South Carolina in 1999. Back in 1999, Game, age 51, started Truth Ministry, a faith-based conversion therapy program in South Carolina which aims to suppress or completely change a person's LGBTQ and sexuality through counseling, interventions, or ministry. 2 decades after founding, however, he has come out as gay to the world after preaching that being gay would send someone to hell. In 20 years of working, Game wrestled with his true identity. I struggled more so trying to deny my attraction to men than being able to accept my attractions and say I am a gay man. I was a hot mess for 26 years and I have more peace now than ever. How many times have I said in these videos that ever since I left Christianity, I do feel more at peace? That is not to say that to be at peace you have to leave Christianity, but that is a video I am saving for you guys for another time when we're done with this series, where we'll be talking about how you can feel at peace without religion. His public announcement was a long time coming. He received counseling when he was young in an attempt to overcome his attraction to men, and he eventually married a woman to suppress his feelings. When I started Truth Ministry, I believed the gay community and the world was lying about homosexuality and this whole subject. I felt like it was this big ruse and there was a lot of deceit. I was trying to tell the truth. Now I think it's complete opposite. I believe ex-gay ministry is a lie. Conversion therapy is not just a lie, it's very harmful, especially when it takes it to the point of you need to change and here's a curriculum, here's how you do it, and you haven't changed yet, keep at it, it'll happen. Ain't he telling the truth though? It says here that he always felt isolated from other boys his age, and he found a fascination with his sister's clothes growing up. He was born and raised in the Southern Baptist Church in South Carolina. So according to the article, he did have an intimate relationship with a man when he was 18. It says here his decision to do so led him to develop debilitating anxiety, insecurities, and mental breakdowns. I was having ongoing panic attacks and I had never experienced that before. Emotionally, I was freaking out. I was crying. I was internally pained. My brain was telling me, you're going in the wrong direction, but my body was telling me otherwise. He eventually sought out help through his faith, and his mother introduced him to a counselor who claimed that he could rid him of his attraction to men and determine why he felt this way, going so far as to suggest his dad had not been invested enough as a child. So they assumed that he was gay because his dad didn't invest enough time, which is kind of what I talked about in my previous video that I put up about children who are gay, that parents may believe that it's their fault, like you did not do enough. Early in my years, I used to get a lot of death threats, a lot of hate mail on a constant, continuous basis. At the time, I took a level of satisfaction that I was getting all this hate mail. It was kind of proving like I was doing the right thing. but Game said those hurtful words eventually had an effect on him that caused him to believe he should back off. So in 2017, he cut ties with Hope for Wholeness program, and this past June he came out publicly as gay. I was a religious zealot that hurt people. People said they attempted suicide over me and the things I said to them. People I know are in therapy because of me. Why would I want that to continue? Game is also struggling with his desire to advocate for a community that he once swore so heavily against, but is hoping that by now speaking out he can prevent this from happening again. So much of it is trying to change people and fix people. It's a lie, and we have harmed generations of people. We've done wrong. We need to admit our wrongs and do what we do to stop the wrong from continuing to happen. So this article is fairly recent, 2 months old. This article came out in September 4th of this year. I remember the first time that I heard of conversion therapy for the LGBT, and I was just like, what do they do? What exactly do they do in conversion therapy? How can you make someone turn around and turn away from a certain life that they've always lived, a feeling they've always had? That's like putting me in conversion therapy and telling me not to be attracted to men anymore. I've been attracted to men my entire life. I never really could understand how that worked, but I have watched some documentaries on YouTube where they did speak about it, and I actually remember while I was a part of the ICOC church, I remember watching some videos on YouTube with people who were talking, like telling their testimony, saying how they used to be gay and they used to be a lesbian, and then God changed them. And even when I was a Christian, that I used to question that. I was just like, but how is that possible? One thing I really, as a Christian at the time, could not understand was, how is it that God could change you and make you ungay, and then you go and you marry the opposite sex and you're sleeping with the opposite sex and you have a whole family, when your whole life you admit that you were attracted to the same sex? Well, if God could change you like that, why wouldn't God have made it so that you didn't have those feelings to begin with? Because there are people who do believe that people who are gay choose this life, like they decided, they choose to be gay. I don't believe that people choose to be gay unless it's a trend that they're following. I do believe that true gay people, gay, lesbian, bisexuals, trans, I do believe that this is something that they felt internally from the very beginning, and they don't come out and say it out loud right away, but they do feel this from the start. So if they feel this from the start, then why is it that God didn't make it so that you don't have those feelings? Why didn't God make you straight the way that he made me straight? This is how I used to think when I was a Christian. When I read this article, I was just like, wow, that's crazy. Like that, and I don't mean in a bad way. I mean, like, that's like, it amazes me, because this is a man who became a Christian, married a woman, had a family with a woman, but yet he's always had these feelings towards men. To think, how could a person really change just like that? Like, I mean, I know it's not an overnight change, but I just find it amazing that he was just like, that's it. I can't hide it. I can't take it anymore. I'm not gonna pretend that I am someone that I'm not. I mean, according to this article, he received counseling when he was young in an attempt to overcome his attraction to men, and he eventually married a woman to suppress his feelings. He even said that he believed the gay community and the world was lying about homosexuality. I felt like it was a big ruse and there was a lot of deceit. I was trying to tell the truth. I believe ex-gay ministry is a lie. Conversion therapy is not just a lie. It's very harmful, especially when it takes it to the point of, you need to change and here's a curriculum, here's how you do it, and you haven't changed yet, keep at it, it'll happen. I mean, isn't this what it feels like when you are a part of religion, a certain church mostly, I should say, because not every person who is a part of religion acts this way or treats other people in this way. You have to change, you have to change, but a very large majority of it is basically that. It's basically, you have to change and follow God, and you have to do the right thing. You have to read the Bible, and you have to have your quiet times. You got to stay on a straight path, and no cursing, no sex before marriage, don't wear a bikini, don't wear skirts that are short. It just kind of feels like you really have to try to fit into this mold, and it's such a tiny mold. And I think that when it comes to people who are a part of the LGBTQ, it's really hard for them to fit in that mold, because you're literally trying to be someone you're not, and you're trying to hold in the person that you truly are, and you're trying to keep it together just for the sake of getting to heaven, making God happy, and just being the person that you were taught that God wants you to be. For someone who is a part of that community, you really have to think how difficult, how stressful, how painful, how much torture that has to be to make yourself convince yourself that you are straight when you're not. Now, I believe that we have a lot of power in our mind. Like, I believe that we can change a lot of things, and we can convince ourselves of certain things without there being any kind of evidence that we're right, or any kind of evidence that whatever that thing is that we want, that it's gonna happen. So if you are gay and you go to a church that says it's wrong to be gay, you shouldn't be gay, you shouldn't be gay, and then you do this conversion therapy thing and you keep doing it, it's really a psychological thing. You really have to look it up, because there is information about that, where there's a part of our brain where we can really convince ourselves of something, even if it's not true. But we can convince ourselves of something so much to a point where it almost kind of does become true. But when it comes to the person that you really are, like if you are a man and you know that you've always been attracted to men, and you start going to church, and then you find this new faith, and now you're starting to believe that faith wants you to be with women, because you are a man and you're supposed to be a woman, and if you're gonna follow this and you're gonna go in this path and go this way, then you have to be with women. If you start to believe that enough, that you actually can kind of change yourself and convince yourself, but it's almost like you're lying to yourself enough until the point where you believe, I do love women, I do love women, I do love women. So some people may say, okay, well then how do you explain those pastors who used to be gay and now they're straight and they're married to a woman? Because I remember when I was in the ICOC church, and there was a man, and he used to come and he used to minister. I might actually still have the book. I'm gonna check and see if I still have it. And he used to talk about how he was able to change his life because he was a gay man for a very long time, and now he's married and he has kids who are like in their early 20s. He was able to convince himself that he could do this straight thing, and he would come and he would minister about how you can not convince yourself, because they don't think you're convinced yourself, but how God changed his life. He even wrote a book about it, part of the DPI books that the ICOC makes you read. I think it stands for like discipling, publishing, whatever. I just think to myself, like, I don't believe that he actually is fully straight. I don't believe this man who's always been gay and now is married to a woman and is a Christian actually is straight. I believe that you can fall in love with the opposite sex and still be attracted to the same sex, but you're falling in love with the human being that they are, and you're falling in love not necessarily with their physical. He even admitted it took time for him to get used to loving the physical, because he's not attracted to what women have, breasts, all of that, our body parts. He wasn't attracted to that. He's attracted to men. So he had to find a way to fit that mold, to make it work so that he could please God, because he felt like he needed to please God. And this is what a lot of people who are a part of the LGBTQ go through. They join a church and they're like, I can't be baptized and be gay. I can't live this life of sin. I can't live this life of sin. But then you're kind of going through this insanity, because you're trying so hard to be someone that you know you truly aren't. You're trying so hard to be straight, and you're attracted to the same sex. So this man that preached in the ICOC that used to be gay and is now married to a woman, he actually said that his feelings towards men never really went away, and he doesn't believe it ever will, but he knows how to avoid that temptation, and he's in love with his wife. Just because a person finds a faith that they feel comfortable with, that they find peace and joy with, doesn't necessarily mean that now everything's gone with the winds and they're completely straight and they're fixed. I don't believe that at all. A lot of religion does try to change and to fix you. It's basically trying to fix something that is broken, but in reality, you're not broken. It's almost like a broken system. It's like, why do you think that when you go to church, they're like, oh, I'm a wretch, you saved a wretch like me, I'm unworthy, I'm not enough, I'm not enough. All of these words, these are all negative words that we're putting into our own mind. We're putting this in our atmosphere and we're believing this bull crap. And then we think, I got dunked in water, I'm saved, now I'm worth something, now I'm valuable, now I mean something. When I got baptized, I felt like a whole new person. I was like, yes, I'm saved, I'm renewed, I'm good to go. But why didn't I feel good enough before that? Before that, I was doing Bible studies and I was just like, I'm not enough, I'm not enough, I'm not enough. I need to be saved, I need to be redeemed. God needs to change my heart. God's changed my life. So people who are gay and they go to church and they go to these conversion programs, they're being taught the same thing. And they actually think they need to be fixed because they think that they're broken, because this is what the church tells them. You're broken, you need to be fixed, we're here to fix you, and we're here to make you straight because this is the only way you can get into heaven. If you threaten someone with hellfire for eternity in flames and just doomsday for all of eternity, you threaten them enough with that, it's gonna sink in their mind and it scares you, and then it makes you feel like, oh man, I need to change my life right away. I need to do whatever I can to make myself be straight, to make myself fit this mold, because I don't want the hellfire. I don't want that. I want to feel like I am enough. It's like when he said, you're going in the, my brain was telling me you're going in the wrong direction, but my body was telling me otherwise. His brain is telling him, because this is what they taught him to think, that he's not going the right direction, he's not doing the right thing. But then his body is telling him, this is what I want. I want to be with a man. I want to love a man. I'm attracted to men. And the church tells him, no, that's wrong. That's Satan. That's the devil. And then now what does he do? He converts, and now he starts doing the same thing, using the same program on other people who are coming in. A lot of people are forced to join these programs. Parents sending their teenage children to these programs, trying to change them. And that is horrible. Do you know how much you are really hurting the individual, how much you're breaking them down, especially at a young age, when you tell them you're bad for liking who you like, you're bad for being attracted to who you're attracted to, and then you send them to these programs so they just break them down. I know that I am not a part of the LGBT community. I cannot say that I know how they feel, because I don't know. I don't know how you feel. I don't relate with that emotion because I haven't gone through that, but I can imagine it, and I can imagine that I would hate to feel that way. I would hate to feel like I need to be converted to Christianity because I'm living wrong, but yet my body and my heart is like, this is how I feel, this is what I want, and I can't control it. I can't control that. I don't agree with conversion therapy. I don't agree with it at all. I don't think that it's healthy for your psyche. I don't think it's healthy for your emotions, emotionally. I don't even think it's healthy for you spiritually. I don't agree with conversion therapy at all. I would never support conversion therapy. That's just me. I believe strongly that you are who you are. And I mean, I'm not a Christian anymore, so I can really say these things, but I believe that people who are told that they're wrong for living the life they live, I feel that those people need a lot of love, because they are put down so much. The trans community, gay, lesbian, bis, put down so much, and it really like breaks my heart a lot of times, because I always put myself in other people's shoes, and so that's how I'm able to empathize a lot. I can't imagine how difficult that would be for me. These people need love, because we're all human beings. Nobody is better than anyone. I don't care if you're straight and the other person's gay. You are not any more valid than the next person. I don't like to see people being put down because of who they love. I do personally believe that you can love a person's soul, you can love their heart, and it doesn't matter what the exterior looks like. I do believe that you can love someone just for who they are. There are people out there who don't carry a label. There are people out there who are like, I just love who I love. I'm glad that this guy came out the closet and was like, that's it, I can't do it anymore, because it wasn't sitting right with him. He was putting people through these programs that he felt wrong about on the inside, but he was trying to force it. He kept trying to force it for 20 years. This guy was trying to make himself believe something he didn't truly believe, and love someone that, not saying he didn't love his wife, but loving the opposite sex, when really that's not how he felt. And like he said, he had people that he tried to convert into the faith, and now they're in therapy. There are people who try to commit suicide. Imagine how many people in the gay community try to commit suicide when they feel like they're not enough, and they're dealing with enough struggle just being gay. Just being gay and being out in the open and being able to say I'm gay. That's enough struggle in itself. Imagine if they're a part of the church and how that is for them. I mean, how could you not? How could you not have a heart for that? How could you not feel something in that point for people who are going through that? So I just want to thank my beautiful subscriber who did post this. I'm not going to say their name because I don't know if they'd want me to, but you know who you are if you watch this video. I want to thank you for posting this on Facebook and for me coming across it, because this is a really interesting article and a really good eye-opener. So I am gonna have this down in the description box for you guys. This is it. That's all I got for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Make sure you check out the other videos that are a part of this series. You can find it in the playlist. I have it under LGBT and religion playlist. If you did like this video, make sure you do give me a thumbs up, because it definitely does help. If you like the channel, make sure you subscribe for your weekly videos. And if you want to get in contact with me, you can look down in the description box below. If you want to support by donations, I have my PayPal down below. Yeah, that's about it. So I'll see you guys in the next video. Love you all so much.